Hello girls and welcome back to my channel. So on this video I'm going to show you how I contour my face step by step, some tips and tricks how to contour, where to apply blush, how to highlight, all that and more. So let's get started. Mwah. So I already went ahead and put my foundation on. So next what I'm going to do is on one side I'm going to show you how to contour with powder. On the other side I'm going to show you how to contour with cream. So let's get started. So on this side of the face I'm going to contour with cream. On the other side I'm going to contour with powder. So the first step to contouring and highlighting is you always have to find a highlighting shade, and I recommend you always getting a lighter shade than your skin tone. You always want to go 2 to 3 shades lighter for your highlighting. So what I'm going to use is my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light. So this, I'm going to use it for my powder side because there's no powder you can highlight with, so I'm going to use concealer. And so this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get your concealer and you're just gonna do sort of like a triangle shape. And then for my cream contour, I'm gonna use the Anastasia cream contour. As you can see, this baby is beat because I use this a lot. I'm gonna take this shade right here, mix with a little bit of shade this one. And I'm gonna use that with my Morphe 170/10 brush. And we're going to do the same step as what we did with the concealer. The cream is always like a little bit harder to work with because it's a little bit more thicker than the concealer. So now we're going to put some in my chin, and this is going to be a little bit weird because it's just one area. So what we're going to do is take from here and this side, highlight with the concealer. And then with the cream contour, I'm going to do the other side. I feel like I'm going to look so weird in the end. So next, I'm going to highlight my forehead. This is what it does. It gives it an illusion of a bigger forehead if you have like a smaller forehead. So me, like I do have a pretty like medium-sized forehead. I'm not going to highlight too much, but I'm not going to highlight too less. So this is what you're going to do is you're basically just going to draw like a marijuana sign. And then with the cream contour, I'm going to do the other side of the marijuana sign. Oh my god, that does not even look like a marijuana sign. My nose, this is going to be a little bit weird, so I'm just going to stick with the cream contour. For my nose, you always want to do like the thinnest line, because the thinner the line you have, the more smaller your nose is going to look. So then once you're done with this step, what I like to do is I like to take my lighter shade and always bring it very close to the nose, like right here where your lines of your nose start. This is going to help you contour your nose as well. So taking the Maybelline concealer and doing the same exact step. I look so weird right now. So now taking your damped beauty blender, you always just want to like blend this into your skin. The cream contour is always going to be a little bit more difficult to work with because it's a little bit more thicker. So as you can see, that under eye area is already getting very brightened. So we're just going to do the same thing to the chin. So now we're just going to blend down the nose. You always want to keep this like as the same line where you placed it. You don't want to go out more. Just want to kind of keep it very straight, very narrow. So next we're going to bake. So for baking, I'm going to use my Shade and Light palette from Kat Von D. And my like yellow powder broke, but I'm going to take some of this white powder and I'm going to take it with my damped beauty blender. So when you are baking, the trick I like to do is to like contour my nose on the way while I'm baking my face. I like to take the powder that I'm baking with and I like to push it all the way to the front. So now that you are fully baked, we're gonna contour already. So on this side of the face, I'm going to do the cream contour, and this side I'm going to do the powder contour so you can see the difference. I'm going to take my Morphe M224 brush, which is this one right here. And I'm going to take these two shades right here. So to contour, what I like to do, the best tip I like to tell my girls to do is always starting from the very tip of your ear and ever so slightly just go downward. You do not want to do that round, you kind of just want to keep it straight. And then you're going to do your forehead. You always want to keep it as close as possible to your hairline because you do not want two colors to separate. You want them to blend in together and look natural. This, what it does, it shadows your forehead, which makes it look more close and more smaller. So I do not want to look too small, so I kind of just want to keep it very little. So on this side, I'm going to do the powder contour. So the powder contour I'm going to use is the one from Kat Von D's Shade and Light palette, the one I used earlier to bake. So the brush I've been really liking to contour is a Wet n Wild angled brush, which is this one right here. So the shades I'm going to use are this one and this one right here. I know a lot of people always say that to contour your shade has to be cool tone, but that is not true. It all depends on your skin tone, and if you are cool tone, warm tone, and neutral, it all depends on you, girl. So now I'm going to do the same exact steps, but I'm going to do it with the powder. As you can see, the cheekbone is snatched. So now I'm going to blend the cream contour, and I'm going to take my oval brush set, which is this one from here, and I'm just going to blend all that. So as you can see, everything is very blended, very smooth, and you can already start seeing the structure of the face, and that's what we want. So next, what I like to do on my cream contour side, I like to set it a little bit with powder just so it won't get a little bit muddy or creasing in my skin. So I'm going to take the same Wet n Wild angled brush and the middle shade from the Kat Von D palette, and I'm just going to slightly go over those contour shades just so it won't crease. So next, we're gonna contour my nose. This is like my favorite part of the whole video. So as you can see, when I told you to bring the powder very close to your nose so you can already start contouring, you can already start seeing the narrowing of the nose. So that's what we want. On this side, I'm gonna do the powder, and on this side, I'm gonna do the cream. So I'm gonna take those two same shades I used from the Kat Von D palette, and I'm gonna take it with my BH Cosmetics number 119 brush, which is this one right here. So what I like to start doing is taking those two shades from the Kat Von D palette. I like to do lines in my nose depending how thin I want it to be. The closer the lines you do, the more skinny your nose looks. But you do not want to overdo it. You kind of want it to keep the same structure for your face. So then I connect it for my eyebrows. And I bring it down. I'm not going to bring it all the way over here. I'm just going to keep it right here. So then from the cream contour, I'm going to do the same exact steps with those two shades we used for my face. Taking my oval brush set brush, which is this one right here, I'm going to blend that into my nose. So as you can start seeing, the very shape of the nose is going on. So then taking that brush we used for the nose, I'm going to do the V right here. And I'm going to do a little round motion right here. And I'm going to do the same exact steps on the other side with the cream contour. So next, with my damped beauty blender and taking those shades I used to bake, I'm going to get the powder and push more of the contour shades inward, just to eliminate any harsh edges in the nose. And I'm going to go down my bridge nose. So as you can start seeing, the nose is already very snatched. So now, taking my damped beauty blender and those two same shades from the Kat Von D palette, I'm going to place it under my cheekbones so I can have a more clean look. And on this side, I'm going to do the cream contour. And with my beauty blender, I'm going to blend that together. And I'm going to bake that with my powders. So as you can start seeing, the face is looking very, very, very contoured, and this is what we want. So I like to leave my powder baking for almost like 5 to 6 minutes, and then I like to take my BH Cosmetics number 3 brush, which is this one right here, and I like to dust off all that cocaine powder from my face. So then for blush and highlight, I'm going to show you how to do tips and tricks as well. So for my blush, I'm going to use my Japanese Cave Velvet blush in the shade, which is this shade? 02, which is this one right here. And this is how it looks. My Real Techniques blush brush, which is my favorite brush for blush. I'm going to apply this into the apples of my cheeks, but what I am not going to do is I'm not going to put it right here. I'm just going to slant it, the blush, so I still keep that structured look. So next for my highlight, I'm going to take my Becca highlighter in the shade Moonstone, which is just this very beautiful champagne-y gold. I'm going to take it with my Real Techniques setting brush, which is this one right here. I'm going to spray some MAC Fix Plus just for the pigmentations of the highlighter to come out a little bit more intense. So for highlighting, girls, you can do so many ways to highlight. You can always do the cheekbone, you can do the cheeks. There's just so many ways to highlight, but my favorite way of highlight is I'm going to teach you. So because I do have a sort of like round face, I like to mostly focus my highlight right here. So when I smile, you know, it kind of just looks like a little glow, as opposed to I have it right here and I smile, it kind of just pulls off. So I like to focus my highlight right here. And slowly bring it upward. And then what I like to do is place my highlight on the very top of my eyebrow so it can give it a lift. And with my finger, I like to grab the highlighter and place them in the very tip of my nose and down my bridge nose. And into my cupid's bow. So this is a final look, girls. I really hope you girls enjoyed this video and got as many tips you girls can. And I really hope I made this video easy for you girls. So yes, until next time, mwah.